Welcome to the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show, where we talk with leaders in business, civic, school, and nonprofit worlds in the Lake area. And today we're focusing on schools, as we have got the activities director from Camdenton High School, Dr. Bill Kurtz, with us. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to join us.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here.
All right, so what exactly does a high school activities director do?
That's a great question. And I'm not sure you get the right answer when you're applying for the job. I really expected to be out on the fields, maybe helping stripe fields and checking bleachers and that sort of thing. And 5 years at the middle school and then 3 years now at the high school, where at the high school, it's my entire job as activities director. And really, I'm doing clerical work. I'm checking schedules, rechecking schedules, making changes on schedules, securing officials. And then, of course, we got to get trainers and custodians and bus drivers and all that stuff in the same loop. And then budgets for all the programs. And that's pretty much what takes up my whole day, emails and phone calls.
Wow, I mean, that's a lot of work. So you have to make sure there's officials at games and really everything from beginning to end, it sounds like.
Right. Yeah, the coaches will put in their own transportation requests, and all I do is check that the buses are there. And then me and Nikki Franklin is my assistant. She's reconfirming with every game, every school that we play or go play to make sure the game times haven't changed and recheck things 2 or 3 times.
Is there a busier time of the year, like fall or winter or spring, or is it all just crazy all the time? Do you get a break?
Winter sports is busiest for evening supervision. For actually going to the games, there's a lot of games. We'll separate freshmen and JV and varsity boys and girls, and so it seems like winter is a busier time. We play tournaments through the Christmas break, so that little cheat that we usually get as teachers, we don't get in the athletic director position. But fall is a big spectator time. Friday night football is huge. Get more people at a Friday night football game, home game, than we get all winter long in the gym sometimes. And so that's a lot of people. There's periods of big stress there, but as far as being busy every night, it's actually the middle school administrators in the winter. They are slammed because they got a 7th grade team, boys and girls. They've got an 8th grade team, boys and girls. They've got wrestling going on through December. So with only 2 of them at the middle school, there's a lot of stuff going on with athletics.
Yeah, every time we've talked, I'll ask you about maybe the big sport, football, basketball, something like that. And then you've got a whole list of other sports going on, or activities. You are the activities director, and that includes bands and other things too. So, there's just a ton of things going on all the time.
There is. If you want to see what kids are doing, just talk to a kid at Camdenton High School, at any high school, and there'll be something going on, whether there's speech and debate. And can you imagine speech and debate right now in the season that we're in? They're doing it virtually. They're having to figure out all kinds of technology, how it works, and then go ahead and do what they normally do with their events. So it's crazy, but it's great. It's our job. It's what we like to do, and we find ways to let kids do it. So it's rewarding.
We're talking with Dr. Bill Kurtz from Camdenton High School Activities Director. I like to call you Athletics Director, but it's really more than that. So you're in charge of all of it, the sports, the activities. Do you have a favorite sport or activity that you personally love?
Well, that's easy. I've had 5 kids go through the system, so it's whatever sport my kids are playing that year, that moment, that day. That's my favorite. I get to watch and be a dad a little bit, and so that's easily my favorite. Whatever one they happen to be doing, whether it's an art club activity or in a play or playing ball, whatever they're doing is my fagrate at the moment.
Spoken like a good dad, right?
That's right. Safe answer too, wasn't it? That's right.
Did you have a favorite sport playing when growing up?
Depending on when I was growing up, I can remember being a little kid and thinking one thing, but once we got into junior high through high school, football was the best because I was a teenage boy and you got rewarded for hitting people.
Right.
It was a pretty no-brainer. But as a kid, my parents helped start LOSA because we played soccer in St. Louis. We moved here in 2nd and 3rd grade, and we got tired of driving to Eldon to play soccer. So, there's a while soccer was my favorite, and then baseball. Once we got here for a couple of years, Larry Whitten was an old sheriff at the Camden County Sheriff's Department. He was the coach of the Optimist team, and he made it. Man, it was fun playing baseball. And of course, I had just moved here, and people didn't see a one-armed guy playing baseball, so there was some some stuff going on with that, but he just treated me like an athlete, and it made it really cool, something I remember even now as a 3rd and 4th grader. Baseball was my favorite sport for a few years there too. So
okay, so one-armed guy playing baseball. How did you work that out? How did you do that?
Well, the answer to all those, every time I get questions like that is just, I don't know, because Mom just put me outside and let me play. She never told me I was a one-arm guy, so it wasn't until junior high when the girls noticed that I realized I was a one-arm guy. And
they're the ones that usually have.
That's right. Yeah. So baseball, you just put a glove on and catch it, and then if you want to throw, you've got to get the ball somehow in your hand, and I did it. There's a couple different ways I did it, but you just got to do what you got to do if you want to play. Otherwise, you can't play.
Yeah, I remember Jim Abbott. I think the pitcher for the Angels was the first one-arm pitcher that I remember, and he was able to move the glove around and throw and catch, and he was a pretty amazing guy.
Yeah. I couldn't use that as an excuse for not being a good pitcher anymore once he started playing. Yeah.
I never had that excuse, I mean, we were all looking for one. We're talking with Dr. Bill Kurtz, the activities director at Camdenton High School. We have yet to get into all the activities going on right now, and we will do that here on the Lake TV Community Spotlight right after this.
Your time on the water is limited, and Hy-Vee and Osage Beach knows it. Let us do the shopping so you can maximize your lake time. With our Isles online app, you can have your groceries delivered or ready for contactless pickup when you arrive to the lake. With all your grilling favorites, snacks, fresh produce, and home to the lake's largest wine, spirits, and beer department, your weekend at the lake starts with Hy-Vee and Osage Beach, where you'll find a helpful smile in every aisle.
Discovered over a century and a half ago, Bridal Cave continues to amaze those who venture through it. As you tour through Bridal Cave, you'll see massive onyx formations, giant columns, and the one and only Mystery Lake. Bridal Cave's unique stalactite-adorned bridal chapel has provided a truly unique backdrop for over 3,000 couples from around the world. Bridal Cave is open daily, rain or shine. Guided tours leave every few minutes. Come explore the lake's favorite natural attraction. Explore Bridal Cave today.
And welcome back to the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show. We're talking with Dr. Bill Kurtz, Activities Director, Camdenton High School. So we haven't even gotten into what's going on right now at Camdenton High. So I'm guessing we're in the middle of winter sports, is that right?
Yeah, this is the winter sports season. Winter is the only one that's cut by an academic semester. So we've just finished new grades, the grades we got for the first semester, and we've had to tell kids whether or not they're eligible. And so there's several that the winter sports season's cut in half and they're not eligible for the second half if they haven't kept their grades up. So we've got boys and girls basketball right now, we've got girls swimming, and we've got wrestling, which in the state of Missouri now there's boys and girls wrestling separate. It's got to be separate now. And so we've got that rolling at the school. We've got speech and debate going. Band is both instrumental music and vocal music are getting ready for their festivals. They're not going to have any in-person festivals. They'll be virtual festivals. They're virtual contests, and that'll move on through district competition and a sectional competition and state contest, just like we do in the athletics. They are working on that right now because those festivals will begin in the next couple months and then go through the end of April, beginning of May is when the state music festival is set for now.
Wow. Okay, so it's so much more than just the big sports, the basketball and stuff. Girls swimming in winter, that just doesn't seem right.
Yeah, the poor girls. But it's indoor. You might think the other way around in the beginning of fall when the boys are swimming and you got that humid natatorium. It's hot and horrible. But the kids love it, of course. They take care of it, get the conditions right. And the girls are killing it right now. They're setting new PRs nearly every meet. They're actually setting themselves a bar that they're going to have trouble meeting every time because they're setting so many PRs that we're kind of expecting it now.
Personal records.
Personal records,
right.
Yeah. They're beating their previous times. We've got individuals swimming, and then we've got relays. And what happens with swimming is the top certain number go to the state swim meet. And so the top 16 times right now. You swim, you turn your times in. So the kids are watching and they're looking for the right cut time. I need to swim under this amount in order to be the top 24 in the state or the top 16 in the state. And then it gets even more confusing because with swimming, you might only take 16 to the state tournament, but a kid can only get into 3 or 4 events. So if I'm a great swimmer and I've qualified in 8 events over the course of a season, I pick which 4 I'm entering, and then my other times don't matter anymore because I'm not there swim.
Yeah.
So they have something called consideration time, which tells you you're probably pretty close to getting in if you're the top 24 or the top 25 or whatever the case may be. And so that time the kids look at also. So it gets to be a stressful time toward the end of the year of whether or not my time is good enough to get into the state tournament.
Well, and it seems like you mentioned the band. Is the band a year-round thing, or is that a seasonal thing? How does that work?
There's different bands,
okay.
and that's it. And as the activities director, the truth is I really started as an athletic director, and Paul Bauer and Trenton Clayton had to work me in a little bit, and Joe Beth Nicholas with theater.
You have to take care of the theater too.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Man.
Well, the truth is they do all the work. They just need to make sure I get things ready for them. And if they want something ready, I need to stay out of the way. And so that's part of the deal. Is there's different bands. There's marching band season. That's pretty much the football season. Our band goes to the Bands of America contests. They'll travel and do those. Those are some fantastic feedback from some real experts in the field, as opposed to going to a Camdenton band festival, where you might hear from some local band directors, but they get some great feedback at those big events, and those are expensive events, so they spend a whole lot of time fundraising, all the time fundraising, so they can do that. And this time of year, we've got where the kids are getting in their small ensembles or a large ensemble, and this is when they get in with that smaller group of people and they're playing concert music. They're playing music that they'll take to the state contests. And so it's the same kids, but it's definitely a different band, a different makeup, smaller number of kids. They can get in groups of 2 and 3 and solos for that matter. And pretty much the same thing the instrumental music is, or the vocal music is doing. They can get in their choirs and they can sing pieces and take them to contests, and depending on how well they're rated, they move on. They can make different district choirs and the all-state choir, and lots of things they can try out for, and we've got some really successful kids here at the lake.
Yeah, you guys have a pretty good band program, right? I mean, you've had a lot of success there over
Absolutely,
the years.
yeah. Nationally known for what we do, and the people in the area who see us the most are the most complimentary, and that's really saying something.
So how do you keep up with all this stuff? I mean, you got 1,000 different things going on in 1,000 different areas. I'm guessing you have a lot of good help.
That's it exactly. I don't do any of it. You know, the football coach takes care of the football team, and the band directors take care of the band, and there are just a few frameworks, almost guidelines that I can set up for them. I can check the transportation requests and make sure they remember to get a bus, but they're the ones getting the bus, and they're the ones scheduling contests and teaching the kids, and that's really what we're doing. The teaching of the kids is done by the coaches, and that's where all the work is. It looks like I'm real busy. It's just a lot of time, and we have really good people that make our programs good and then can make me look good too.
So we've got about 30 seconds left. How are your coaches? You got a good bunch of coaches there? Is there one you want to tell us about you don't like, you want to get rid of, or anything like that?
All our people are fantastic. We know that our focus is the kids. We want to win games, we want to win contests, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to grow kids, and the coaches, at least to me, to my face, they agree with that, and that's really what we're here to do. It's not about winning and losing, but you're doing the right thing. You're winning too,
right? Yeah.
And so
winning's always nice.
It's good. That is a goal. It's just not what they're here for, and that's why we get along.
Well, and COVID has just made things so crazy lately, right? I mean, it's kind of changed everything.
It is. Yeah, everything I mentioned to you when I came here that I was in the parking lot changing a schedule.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things that continues to happen, but that's all right. We continue to change. We wear our masks. We stay apart. Whatever we have to do so the kids can keep playing, we're happy to do it.
And what are the rules now? We really do have about 30 seconds now. As far as showing up to basketball games and stuff, is it like 2 parents per player, or what is the rule?
Depending on where we go. Right now in Camdenton,
Yeah.
we are at 50% occupancy. We can fit 1,000 people in that gym still. So we don't have any regulations because we don't get that many people. We go other places, and sometimes we get 2 per athlete. We have vouchers for basketball, girls basketball and wrestling. Parents have those, so if we get in a crisis mode, those people with vouchers will still be able to go to games. Excuse me. But for now, we're pretty open. We can let those people in, and anyone that wants to come is welcome to come on out.
Thank God we still live in one of the sane places in the country right now. So that's Dr. Bill Kurtz. He is the Activities Director, Camdenton High School. You probably didn't know all the things, number one, that were just going on, but all the things that he had to take care of. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. We
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and thank you for joining us for the Lake TV Community Spotlight Show.